playoffs because it's not over. Steelers can still pull this thing off. And I understand that beating the Kansas City Chiefs right now is the hardest thing to do in the NFL. Hands down, no questions asked. But if you pull it off and you pull off Cincinnati, which I feel confident about Cincinnati, you still win the AFC North. If not, chances are you go to Houston. Maybe there's a slight chance you end up in Baltimore in the first round of the playoffs. And I don't feel confident about either of those, but I don't feel unconfident about either of those either. Obviously, an Acrisure Stadium game is a much bigger boost than having to go on the road somewhere in the wild card round and not getting a home game at all through any of this. But it's still a possibility. The Pittsburgh Steelers will most likely get George back this week. I have a hard time believing they've watched the last two games. They understand what's in front of them. And Mike Tomlin's going to walk to the podium today in 2.5 hours and say George Pickens is not going to play. No, chances are he's going to play. I bet you the Steelers already understand that if they lost to Baltimore, George needed to come back. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. TJ needs to get healthier. He clearly was not healthy last night, but I bet you push that one out too. And Dante Jackson is in a bad spot right now with his back, and it's not looking good. But if you could get anybody on the field, you figure it out. That's where the Steelers are. This is no longer about preserve for the playoffs. This is simply get your butt an opportunity to play for the North. And, I mean, at the end of it, if you lose to Kansas City and Baltimore, who I believe plays Houston, I could be totally wrong here, but Baltimore wins, and you now take a game back from Baltimore. You sit everybody in Week 18 and you say, screw it, it's not going to happen. We're not going to pull this one off. But if you could do this in Kansas City, you give yourself a fighting shot, and that's what the Steelers need to do here, is focus on Kansas City and trying to put everybody they possibly can on the football field. It is a very difficult thing to do. But anybody who was guessing this is going to be a 13-14 win season, I mean, it wasn't. It never was. And it's a tough spot to be in for the Pittsburgh Steelers, obviously. But it's one where they still control their own destiny. And I was listening to Rich Eisen real late last night go over the Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens game. And even he said, there's something in me that makes me believe that this thing is still wide open. And I believe it is. Jingle bells, jingle all the way to my partners at DraftKings. The holidays are finally here, and my partners at DraftKings have the perfect gift for you. Right now, all new DraftKings customers who bet just $5 will get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up using my promo code ALLSteelers. The crown is yours. That's right. New customers get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins after betting just $5. And don't forget to stay in the action and use your $150 in bonus bets on DraftKings same game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same game. I do it all the time. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings daily fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code ALLSteelers and bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. That's promo code ALLSteelers only at DraftKings Sportsbook.